Right at about 18 months of age, the emotional centers of the brain start to come online. We're not born with emotions. We have to create emotions. We create emotions with affect. And so to learn emotions, we have to have all these affective experience, and then we have to put words to them and create a database of words to feelings and
association.
I get a lot more complex than we need to get here.
Okay.
But what parents are supposed to do, they're supposed to be emotional coaches. They're supposed to help their children master emotional competency. But because parents are emotionally incompetent themselves, they can't do that. So they invalidate, because when a child becomes emotional, it creates anxiety in the parent. And so what does a parent want to do unconsciously is, shut up, you're making me feel anxious, and I don't want to feel anxious, so stop feeling the way you're feeling. Every parent does this. It's not because they don't love a child, it's because they don't know any better. And it's the cause of everything wrong we see in our society. It really is. I mean, every single inmate that I've ever worked with has suffered from horrible abuse in their homes. Horrible abuse. And all of it invalidating. There's a study out of San Diego called the ACEs study, Adverse Childhood Experiences study, that correlates emotional abuse of the type that I'm talking about. Not the horrible head-banging, child-battering kind of abuse, but just emotional abuse, with comorbid outcomes later in life of cancer, diabetes, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. I mean, you name the disease, and there's a direct relationship to how much emotional abuse the child got later on. And Kaiser, of course, is interested in this because their model is keeping people out of their hospitals. And so they did this huge study to see the relationship between childhood experiences and later medical comorbidity. And what they found astounded them. I mean, the relationship is direct and clear, and it's much, much stronger than anybody ever thought. So what's the antidote to emotional invalidation? What's the opposite? Validate the emotions. So instead of saying toughen up and don't be a sissy and don't be a girly girl, your appropriate emotional coach would say something like, "Oh, Daniel, you're really hurting, and you're a little scared, and you're frightened, and you're anxious, and you feel a little embarrassed." And by using those emotional words to that 2 or 3-year-old, that child is learning how to associate the affective experience it's having, which are many of them, multiple things, with emotional words that then create this database.